Okay, welcome back to Woodstock Guitar Guy. And it's Tele Tuesday on a Wednesday over here. We're just having lots of fun revisiting and exploring all of the potentials of the Telecaster. And this one here, I've been searching for a budget version of the Esquire, which is a single pickup in a Telecaster body, and it has this really cool, two knob situation going on here. And I found what I thought was would fit the bill, and was really surprised at how well it fit the bill. I had no preconceptions going into this. I just thought for $150, with, I guess, a little bit of shipping thrown in, not much. No, it was free shipping, a little tax. So maybe $162 all in for this thing. And I thought, hey, how bad can it be? I actually went on YouTube and looked at a couple of reviews of this particular brand, and none other than Scar My Guitar. I love that guy. He's great fun. Builds some very nice guitars too, by the way. And he was reviewing a Telecaster built by this company, and he said, hey man, this is great. That one was like $197 maybe or something. And he was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with this thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I did, and came all the way from Mississippi. I have a little experience with this company already. They created a guitar called the King, which is an offset. I reviewed it on an earlier episode and love it. I absolutely love that guitar. It's got a solid mahogany body and a really nice neck on it, and it's got the P90 up front in the neck position, and it's got the single coil, which I replaced with a G&L. I put a G&L in there. Beautiful pickup. What a thrill. And that was a $180 guitar. So here it is. It is, here's the headstock. No name. It's built by a company called Cozart. And you wouldn't know that because it says nowhere, anywhere on this guitar does it say Cozart. But that's okay. Look, this thing is, I haven't weighed it, but I'm going to say it's probably 3 pounds, if it's that. It's lighter than any guitar I own, except for the acoustics. It's got the maple neck. It's a copy or a homage to Leo Fender's very first Telecaster, the Snakehead. And I know that some of you don't like this headstock, and I don't blame you. It's not the most attractive headstock of all time, I gotta say. It's pretty ugly. But I did some looking into it, and I found out that Leo Fender is obsessed, or was obsessed, with reptiles, which is how this thing got to be called the Snakehead, and I guess how he went with this particular headstock, which he changed very soon after with the Telecaster, the beautiful little Telecaster headstock that we're all familiar with. Anyway, I picked this thing up with the intention of saving myself hundreds of dollars on a decent Esquire, and even the Squire Esquires. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Squire Esquire. Even those are going for around $500. So I thought, well, I'll get this, I'll put a good pickup in it, and change the tuning pegs, and just do the whole 9 yards and everything. And I'll save a lot of money. And that's part of what this show is all about, is giving you some ideas on how to come up with a really nice guitar for not a lot of money. So I get this thing. The pickup actually didn't sound too bad, but it was a ceramic pickup, and I looked around, I fished around, and found a very interesting pickup on eBay from a store called the True Custom Shop store on eBay. And I've bought some pickups from them before. They're great. The prices are great. They have a lot of interesting parts if you want to customize your guitars and stuff like that. Their prices are good. Shipping, fast. You don't have to wait for anything coming from overseas. So I ordered this pickup, and it was a copy of a Fender Twisted, which is a kind of a high output, lives up to its name. It's a wicked pickup. It's nice. Not a nice pick, which I don't know if you run into this with other Telecasters, but every once in a while you get that bridge pickup that'll, like, take your ear out right through. This does not do it. It's got a lot of mid-range, and the nice thing about this guitar is that the tone knob really works, which is cool because I opened it up. It's got some small pots in here, but they work. I'm going to leave them in there. I'm not going to mess with it. And it's the tone knob that actually gives you that's your pickup selector. That gives you your variation in tone. And this actually works pretty nicely, as you'll see when we get into the plugged in and recording through the overdrive and all that other stuff. The tuning pegs are fine. I left them. I didn't change them. They hold tune. They're tight. They're not wonky, funky. I had to do some setup on the neck, which is, let's just talk about that briefly. When you buy an inexpensive guitar, okay, and we're talking under $200 usually, sometimes more, but under $200 you can be pretty sure that the neck is loose and needs to be adjusted or straightened out, tightened up, And this was the case with this particular guitar. The truss rod is here under, so you got to actually remove the neck like the old Fenders, the old Fender Telecasters and Strats. You got to remove the neck to adjust the truss rod, which I did. That completely brought this neck back to life. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm very, very impressed with what you can get for $150 these days. This neck is beautiful. And I did a little, I had one high fret. I had to kind of file it down a little bit, just I have a little fret block and I just kind of took it down. That seemed to work nicely. The other thing I did was I didn't like the way the bridge was sitting, and I was getting sharp. My hand was rubbing against the slugs that are used to raise and lower the bridge pieces. So I put a shim in here. I took the neck off and I put they're little brass pieces of brass. They're very cool. You get about 10 of them for, I don't know, $10 or something. And very thin, very thin. And, it's really amazing what a change a very thin shim will do. When I took this neck off originally, there was a wooden shim in there. And, I got rid of that. But, and then put it all back together so that I could raise these saddles and eliminate the sharp on my hand slugs, because they're higher now, which is good. And these were new too. I replaced the steel saddles that came with it with these brass compensated, and I bought them from the same company, the True Custom Shop. They all came in the same package. So for about $210, I got this thing, and it's really nice. I mean, I like light guitars. This has the through, it's got the through body string. It bends easy. The wood is paulownia, and it sounds really nice just playing acoustically. Actually has a little ring to it, which I So this was a 1949 style. This is what they look like in 1949. Leo Fender came up with this idea to provide country music, which I guess it was called country and western back then, country music guitar players an inexpensive way to cut through the mix. They were battling with pedal steels, lap steels at that point, amplified. And the only guitars that were amplified at that time were, I believe they were hollow bodies. So this may be, in fact, the very first solid body guitar style design of all time. So I'd have to confirm that. But and the idea was that those, country licks would get through. And they did. They certainly did. And they had their little Fender amps, and they had their little Fender Esquires, and they had their hot pickups, and away they went. And the rest, of course, is history. So we're on our Tele journey. I've got another Tele I'm going to bring in here on the next episode, a parts caster, another budget guitar. And I hope that what I'm doing here is giving people some ideas to take the plunge, kind of fool around with inexpensive guitars and upgrade them, modify them, get them the way you want them. It can be done. And I'll just say there's nothing more satisfying than taking something like this out of the box, and it's kind of rough to start, and then you go to work on it and you spend a little time with it, and you do this and you do that and you change this and you and pretty soon you know, for just a little bit of effort and not a lot of money, you got this great guitar. You know, it's like, I wish I knew this 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. So hopefully this will help if you're just getting started, or if you've been around a long time like I have. You know, nothing to be afraid of. I've learned to just take it really slow. Go, you know, take my time with it. Don't rush it. You pick up some tricks along the way that are very helpful. I never panic, which is good. I used to panic when I was working on these earlier versions of these guitars, and I would do something and screw everything up, and I would panic, and I go, oh no, I gotta fix it, you know. Well, it's better to just put it down, let it sit for a couple of days, come back to it, and have a fresh perspective, and that I find that really helps me. So with that, I just want to say thank you very much for listening, and we're going to keep this going. This is episode number 19, and I want to thank Scar My Guitar for kind of convincing me to take the plunge on this Cozart. I had my doubts, but those doubts are gone. I'm really, I'm thrilled with this, and I think that you would be too. I get nothing out of this, believe me. I'm just doing this strictly for the sheer joy. And with that, you know, I mean, if you like it, you know, hit the like, hit the join, hit the subscribe. That's in here, some subscribe. Leave me a comment. Share this. Let's keep it going. I'm going to start posting links to my music soon, and you'll be able to check out what I've been doing all these years, staying out of trouble. And with that, I'm going to say adios. Thank you for listening. We're going to go out with some rockin' Telecaster single pickup overdriven bliss, and we'll see you next week with another Telecaster. Okay, bye-bye.